Hello, Year 9s. My name's Lauren, if you didn't already know, and I'm at school. Doesn't it feel like you're here with me? It's great to be back. Welcome to the Chem Lab. I'm going to do a prac for you today, and it's about the effect of lipase on milk. If you don't already know, lipase is an enzyme, and it breaks down fat, because lipase or lipase, lipids are fats. Makes sense from a etymology point of view. So we're going to break down some fat in milk. Now, to measure the breakdown, we're going to use a pH indicator. If you don't know what pH is, that's okay. I'll tell you. The pH of a solution is about the potential of hydrogen atoms in a solution. So the more hydrogen atoms, the more acidic it is, and the further down this end it goes. So pH 2, 3 is down there, pH 11 is up there. So if something has more H ions, it's going to be more acidic. And if something has more OH ions, it's going to be more basic. So like vinegar is really acidic, so vinegar would probably be down here somewhere. And then like stuff like soap is really basic. Anything that's kind of slimy is usually more basic or more alkaline, which means it's up here. Now this is important because when we break down the fat in milk, it turns into fatty acids. So, and because it's acids, that means the pH is going to go lower as the fat in the milk breaks down. So we'll measure the pH of milk. It's probably around like, on neutrals in the middle, so about 7, 6. And then as we add the enzyme to the milk, theoretically, as it breaks down the fat into fatty acids, we should see the pH slowly drop. So basically, we're going to measure the effectiveness of the enzyme by measuring the pH change. Are you with me? If you're not with me, stop the video and figure it out, because it's a really important part of the prac. Okay, so let's get this set up. I'll show you what I've got going here. So this is my setup. We've got some full cream milk, which we're going to test. We've got some 2% lipase solution, which I have already made up. So that's our enzyme that's going to break down the fat. And then we have this universal indicator, which is the indicator that's going to make the milk change color so we can see which pH it is. And then I also have this sodium carbonate. Now this is just basically to adjust the pH at the beginning of the prac so we get a nice full range of colors. Sodium carbonate has a pH of around 13, which is quite high, which means it's not acidic. Acidic is down here, alkaline is up here. So sodium carbonate is quite alkaline. So we're going to push our milk to be more alkaline so that when we add the lipase, we get to see more colors. It's literally just so we get more colors. That is the reason for adding sodium carbonate. And then I've got my test tubes here. So we've got a control, because you always need a control in every prac, ice, room, and hot. Here's our ice bath, room temperature bath, and hot water bath. Now, the point of the prac is to see which temperature lipase works best at. So let's get this set up. So if you're following along with the prac, the first part is to add 3 ml of full cream milk to each of our test tubes. So I'm just going to do that using this measuring cylinder. And ta-da! Milk's been added. Now, next step, add 5 drops of universal indicator to each. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so we've added the universal indicator. Now, just from that color, you can see that, I'll put it up here. Can you tell me what pH the milk is at from matching the color to the color chart? Ooh. Okay. So it's about, yeah, you can decide. I won't give you the answer. Whatever pH that's at, we're going to make it go, we're going to push it more this way by adding some sodium carbonate. So I'm going to do that now. So the next step is to add 3 drops of sodium carbonate to each tube. 1, 2, 3. Whoa, you see that? So now, what pH is it at? We've pushed it a little bit. So I'm going to do that to the rest of the tubes. Okay, so now they all have the same thing in them. They all have 3 ml of milk, 5 drops of universal indicator, and 3 drops of sodium carbonate. Which pH do you believe they're at? Write that down, because this is our starting pH. Now we're going to put them at the temperatures that we want them to be at. Now we're going to start the experiment by adding 5 ml of lipase to each one, and every minute we're going to have a look at what the pHs are and take note of that for 10 minutes. We're going to let the reaction go for 10 minutes. Okay, so lipase has been added to each of them. Now we're just going to pay attention to the color over time. So every minute, we're going to check in and see what's going on. Now, the control, I did not add lipase. I added 5 ml of water instead. Why do you think that is? It's been 1 minute now. Okay, so it's been 2 minutes now. Can you see any changes at the moment? Okay, so it's been 3 minutes now. Let's look at each one and compare it with the control. Can you see any changes? It's been 4 minutes now. Can you see any differences? What are you noticing? Okay, so it's been 10 minutes. So I'm going to stop the reaction and pull all of these out. Okay, so you can see some pretty clear reactions here. You need to write down what you think the pH of each one is. You can pause this video if you need, and then answer your questions. I'm just going to add a little bit onto this experiment for fun, because you know, science is so fun. I'm going to let them, because I've pulled them all out of their different temperatures, I'm going to let them sit there for another 5 minutes and see if we get any further reactions now that they're not at all their different temperatures. Now that they're all sitting at room temperature, what do you think is going to happen? Do you think that there's going to be further reactions? Or, yeah, what do you think is going to happen now that they're all at room temperature after being at those other temperatures? Let's find out. Okay, so it's been about 10 minutes and it looks like we've had some more reactions happen. So ice looks like it's changed, but hot has not changed at all. I wonder why that is. What do you reckon? So I hope you enjoyed that fabulous prac and you get all the results that you need and you learn something about enzymes and lipase in particular.